Hi everybody, it's time once again for Game of the Week. And what game we're looking at this week? It's Bally Midway's Blueprint. Blueprint is an arcade maze game released in June 1982. It was developed by Ashby Computers and Graphics and licensed to Bally Midway. Ports of Blueprint were published by CBS Electronics for the Atari 2600, Atari 5200, and the Commodore 64 back in 1983. The player controls JJ, a man whose girlfriend Daisy is being chased by Ollie Org. To defeat Ollie, JJ must find all the parts of the machine he has designed, assemble it, and use it to shoot Ollie. Controls consist of a joystick and an action button. The screen is divided into 3 sections. At the top is a ledge on which Ollie chases the girl, occasionally knocking down flower pots that may hit JJ. The center portion of the screen is the maze of 10 houses. The bottom contains the machine's blueprint and a start button. The bottom of the screen contains a blueprint, a start button, and a pit. 8 of the houses contain 1 machine part each, while the other 2 houses contain bombs. The contents of a house are only revealed when JJ enters it. If a part is found, the player must move it into the proper position on the blueprint. If a bomb is found, the player must carry it to the pit before it explodes. The player will always find the bomb in any previously visited house. Holding the button down allows faster movement. The speed can only be used for a limited time, as shown on the screen's gauge. The gauge is partially refilled when setting a newly found part on the blueprint. Once the machine is fully assembled, JJ must step on the start button and then climb aboard the machine. The player must now use the joystick to maneuver left and right and shoot balls upward. If Ollie is hit, he falls down and the level is complete, with the bonus points awarded for each flower pot remaining on the ledge. A new level begins with the houses in different configurations. The first 3 levels are unique, but the 4th level and beyond use the same level layout. JJ must avoid falling flower pots, bouncing flowers that emerge from the flower pots, and a creature named Fuzzy Wuzzy, who roams the maze. On the Commodore 64 version, it is known as Maze Monster, and appears starting on level 2. A monster named Sneaky Pete, Weird Willie on the Commodore 64 version, occasionally climbs out of the pit and wanders across the screen's start button, stomping on it, which causes parts of the machine to fall off of the blueprint. JJ must drag Pete back to the pit and then set the fallen parts back in place again. A life is lost if any of the following occurs: being hit by a flower pot, touching Fuzzy Wuzzy or bouncing flower, failing to place a bomb in the pit before it explodes. Ollie catches the girl. Ollie Org chases JJ's girlfriend across the top of the screen and drops lethal flower pots. Sneaky Pete lives in the bomb pit and will emerge to prematurely activate the machine. If he does this successfully, the gathered pieces will fall off the machine's blueprint. Fuzzy Wuzzy is a wandering monster, first appearing on level 3, who will kill JJ upon contact. I have to admit, Blueprint is probably one of their obscure games back in 1982. It's a fun game, but you really got to pay attention to all different kinds of aspects of the game to actually successfully beat the game. The home ports are actually pretty decent. The graphics in the arcade were nothing spectacular. Of course, you could play it in MAME and on the consoles aforementioned, like the Atari 2600, Atari 5200, and the Commodore 64. Well, that's it for this week. Join me again next week for another Game of the Week. Until then, remember to tell your family and friends that you love them. But of all else, no matter what you play or how you play it, just remember to game on.